found the perfect place for all your Razorback talk and that Razorback walk. This is the big showcase.
Hey guys, I bet y'all hit the nails on the head about what we gotta do to win. Your date is starting.
He leads the way with pride, and time may never find a bride. These two just won't be denied. Bringing you the latest news, just a couple normal dudes. From 9 to 11, we'll have you feeling lucky and bad. Let us feel your ears for radio. Hey, takes you with a fine little rush. Hey, this is the morning rush. Hey, this is the morning rush. Hey, this is the morning rush.
Live from the Bushlight Studios, this is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
So would you characterize us as two normal dudes? Is that a good characterization of us here at 9:01 this morning?
Never.
Holden, would you characterize us as two normal dudes?
I'm not a lyricist. I'm not a lyricist, Ty. You made me write a song in less than an hour, so I thought those were good words.
I thought it was. I thought you did a good job once again. Hey, it's a Tuesday edition of the Morning Rush. Tommy called me fat this morning, so I have to work off, I guess, some weight. That's
offered you a shirt in size medium. You said you couldn't use it.
That's the second time I've been called fat in the last 4 days. So let me tell you what I've done about it. It sparked. There's this scene for those that have watched The Bear of Jeremy Allen White. I think it was his brother that ticked him off, and he just went into a frenzy. And there's an expletive that he uses because he just goes into this locked in mode. So you're not the first one to do it. This weekend, I called my buddy short. The intern called me fat. So as of
third grade here,
as of this morning, I didn't yesterday. I woke up. I didn't actually work out, but I'm going to be working out every morning at 4:30. From 4:30 to 4:45 and working out in the afternoon as well to get rid of the baby fat that I still have 30 years later. Just because I've got now had two people I respect.
I got baby fat. I got adolescent fat. I got young adult fat. I got old man fat. You know, I've got all four categories right now.
All the categories piled up. Whatever.
I'm a fat hoarder at this point.
Guess the baseball team trimmed the fat of a midweek game tonight.
Yeah.
I looked at okay. Did they really cancel this game because of weather? Because I looked at.
Tell me, Ruskin.
I looked at, and I don't.
Sounds like a conversation I heard yesterday.
I don't mean to be condescending because as soon as so we get the email, and I'm like, bummer. So I do what I usually do in these situations. I download the city of the weather app, which is Springfield, Missouri, where Arkansas was set to play in the AA affiliate for the Cardinals tonight against Missouri State Bears. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, they've tried to play games in a lot less than tonight, right? And it just, I don't know if it was a mutual decision between Dave Van Horn and I couldn't even tell you who their Missouri State, it's not Gooden anymore. I don't know who their new head coach is, but it like the weather is like an easy headline to put over. But I mean, what do you think about this?
I don't think it's a game that win or lose, it matters to anything the rest of the way. I would rather not play it, honestly. If the Texas series began Friday, different deal.
Okay.
Texas series begins Thursday. You don't need to play this game.
You brought it before the show. They're bussing over. It's not a flight. You're not flying from Exnay or Drake to Springfield, Missouri. You're bussing. You mentioned how quickly the turnaround is with the number one team in the country coming into town. And having to deal with the fact that you have a three series SEC losing streak. I kind of wanted to get these guys back a little bit after what happened earlier in the season, but comparatively, it's an inconsequential game. It doesn't have the same meaning or consequence as the number one team in the country.
Hey, if you haven't downloaded the Hit That Line Now app, it's powered by Taco Bell, and whether you're craving something cheesy, saucy, or crunchy, Taco Bell has you covered. Take us anywhere you go with the Hit That Line Now app powered by Taco Bell. The Texas game, and hear me out on this, the Texas games, the series that begins Thursday, while you'd love to beat the number one team in the country, I don't believe is as important as LSU and Tennessee, because Texas right now hadn't fully lapped the field in the SEC, but they're like 3 furlongs ahead. You know, what is it? They're 3 games ahead of the, no, pardon me, 5 games ahead of the Razorbacks.
Is it how many is it, Colton?
I think they're 19-2 overall.
They are 19-2, and Arkansas is 14-7. They are 5 games, and Arkansas is not the only 14-7 team. LSU is 14-7, and Tennessee's 13-8. Texas could, I guess, in theory, clinch this weekend, or damn near it, right? 5. They have put up an 8-game lead. But yeah, they could clinch. They could clinch the regular season championship this weekend, potentially. The games that matter most are LSU and Tennessee, because that's who you're going to be battling for 2nd, 3rd, 4th in this league with. And let's not forget about Ole Miss, who's 12-9, Vandy, who's 12-9, Alabama, who's 12-9, Georgia, who's 12-9.
He's gearing up for his Pradco Pyramid of Power.
Well, I'm just telling you, this weekend matters because it's Texas and it's number 1. You can't get swept. Be great to win 2, but tiebreakers and all those things are going to come up large the next 2 weekends. So any rest you can get, any edge you can get, over the next 20 days is going to be a lot bigger than playing a game against Missouri State on a Tuesday night.
So we'll talk more SEC baseball coming up with Bruce Stan, Pradco Fishing, who's going to join us via the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. But I know there's still questions, some thoughts on this NIL situation. And Paul Feinbaum had what I thought was an interesting take, SEC Network yesterday. And that's our opening drive this morning.
A lot of people say, well, they're doing the right thing. We all understand that. But I think the problem for universities, when you try to go to court, start suing players that you recruited and offered, you run a big risk of getting a very bad reputation. I would let it go. Arkansas can live without the money. I know he had an agreement, and I know he made money, and that's fair. But ultimately, this goes on every day, everywhere. And do you want to be the school that young players are afraid of going in case a mistake is made? I think it's a bad look for Arkansas. And they have enough problems in football right now without bringing in a bunch of guns like Tom Mars to make it worse.
This is the opening drive.
So that to me is interesting, because I think the overwhelming majority was in favor of what Hunter Yurachek initially put out statement-wise, and then this situation where evidently Arkansas is trying to recoup losses, and they're not the only ones. It sounds like Auburn is pursuing, I think, $600,000, if I read correctly, from Chad Baker-Mazzara, who landed where, guys? USC with Eric Musselman. I think his eighth portal player that he's got in the offseason, so that'll be an interesting dynamic. I don't know if there'll be more fights on the sidelines between those two than there was Mason Jones and Muss here in Fayetteville. We'll have to wait and see on that. But, Tommy, that is kind of a standalone thought. You haven't heard I personally don't think it'll hurt Arkansas in recruiting, but I understand where he's coming from on that. Do you think players will look at it that way?
So it hurts you with players that might not want to live up to their commitment?
That's what you said last week, and it made sense.
And listen, I'm trying to think of it through a 49-year-old's mind who's got a little more life experience and might be looking at it more as the parent of one of these players than I'm looking at it as the 17 or 18-year-old kid or the 21-year-old kid in the portal. If you're not fully bought in and committed and you don't believe this is the place for you, and it's all about money, and it's all about then go. I mean, if the agreement says that you owe X if you leave by this date, then and you're willing to sign your name to it, then live up to it.
Justin and Alma texting in saying, "I want to remodel Feinbaum's kitchen. I want half the money up front, and then when I don't show up, finish it. He can let it go." Right.
Exactly.
That's a fair way to approach it. Bruce Stan's with us now. Bruce, what do you think about kind of that thought from Paul Feinbaum there? I know a lot's gone down with the Iamaleava family the last few days. What do you think about his stance toward this mad situation here in Fayetteville?
Well, I mean, if Tommy's got the 49-year-old opinion like he had last week, which I agree with, I got the 58-year-old opinion. I mean, do the work you're paid for. I mean, don't pay him up front and, pay when the job's done. And if you don't want to come to Arkansas or wherever because you want money up front and you don't want to commit, go somewhere else. I mean, somebody's got to stop all this madness. I'm glad we're talking about it and glad there's efforts to stop it. It's just like coaches going 4-8 and getting millions of dollars of buyouts. Somebody's got to stop that at some point. It's all this is together. So, if you're going to be a part of the solution, I'm all for it.
Yeah. And I think in the end, if Arkansas gets the $100,000 or so, I'm of my understanding, he actually got paid. Then that you're slick and that deal's fine. I don't know that you get the 100 plus that you're trying to get. That's my understanding. He had about a $500,000 NIL deal. He was paid $100 from the time he's on campus to the time he left. They're trying to get $200 back. I understand what the buyout is, but at the same time, if you get your $100 back, I don't know how anyone could say that's not fair.
Got a text from Devin on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, Bruce, saying both coaches have to agree to cancel it, talking about Bruce Pearl and Sam Pittman as well. I don't have the audio from Sam Pittman last Thursday when he was discussing this Madden situation, but I'm curious behind closed doors what both of those guys think when it comes to these two situations. And there's probably other numerous ones to think about and everything else. We had this, and I know Tennessee doesn't have a state income tax, so student athletes in this state don't have to worry. There's other taxes and stuff that they have to worry about. But Bruce, what did you make of the rule the bill that was placed into law on Friday of the NIL stuff being tax exempt, and in addition to that, these records kind of being sealed where you can't see what the money is via freedom of information request?
Yeah, I guess as a lifelong taxpayer, any of us it bothers if that income's not taxable, so don't like that. And then, if you're being paid by a public institution, whether it's being funded by donations, it's a public institution. If that was government, we'd want that in a sunshine law or a freedom of information law where you could see all the detail. I don't know. The more you kind of keep under wraps, just the more kind of stuff you don't like can happen.
Are you ready?
Yep, let's do it.
All right, let's get into our Pradco Pyramid of Power here on this Tuesday morning, April the 29th.
Who are the best baseball teams in the SEC? Let's find out.
Perhaps I could be of some assistance.
This is the Pradco Pyramid of Power.
Well, I said earlier, Bruce, that Texas hasn't lapped the field, but they got about a 3-furlong lead right now. And they could technically clinch the Southeastern Conference regular season championship this weekend in Fayetteville. I just, it's not even a discussion. It's probably one of the easier choices we've made. As much as it pains me to say, Texas is once again the top of the Pradco Pyramid of Power. They have their hand on one. They have their hand on at least one hand on the number one overall seed heading into these last 3 weekends. They're going to have to really mess up to not be the number one overall seed in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I kind of keep hoping the same jinx that hit Arkansas and Tennessee from being ranked number one would happen to Texas, but it's not happening. They won 9 in a row, and A&M has been playing some good baseball. Yeah. They took series off Arkansas and Tennessee, and they got swept by Texas. So that's concerning if you hate Texas. Yeah. They're number one.
And Texas was a little bit short on pitching. Didn't seem to be.
They lost their best pitcher in college baseball almost.
Yeah, and they took care of a very good, very salty A&M program at home this weekend. But to go with LSU number 2, they won 2 of 3 versus Tennessee. They're playing better than the rest of the teams that are in that top tier. I got LSU right now at number 2.
Yeah, that Friday game was delayed, so when I went to bed in the 8th inning, it was 3-0 Vols, and Liam Doyle's on the mound, and Nate Snead's coming in. I think, well, they're going to win that first game. Well, they gave up a walk-off grand slam, lost 6-3, then they got run ruled Sunday. So LSU's playing good baseball right now. The bats are swinging. They're number 2.
All right, very close, but I'm going with Arkansas at 3, just the difference in the record. Arkansas will play LSU in a week, play Texas this week, Tennessee at the end of the year. All of it will sort itself out on the field. Arkansas is on the skids right now, losing 3 weekend series in a row. Lost 2 of 3, as we know, against Florida. I got Arkansas at number 3.
Yeah, I'm with you. I can't figure out if Arkansas is playing worse or Florida's playing better or what. But that was little bit of a concerning loss. I know, they've got a great pedigree, great coach. It was on the road, but, lost 3 series that's being ranked number 1.
Had a couple of long shots to the warning track that, wind's a little different. Just the ball's a fraction of an inch off the bat different. It wasn't, maybe those balls leave the yard. They didn't, and could have been the difference in that series. Arkansas was competitive. Tennessee, I got it number 4. They lost 2 of 3 against the team we mentioned a moment ago in LSU. Tough place to go play down in Baton Rouge, and I got Tennessee checking in at 4.
Yeah, LSU fans had the place packed. Tough weekend for the Vols. They're number 4.
Yeah, I got Georgia at number 5 after taking 2 of 3 versus OU. I think OU is a really good baseball program. It was 14 versus 10 last week in the polls, but I got Georgia right now, who's trailing all the teams we've already mentioned, but could easily, if you told me Georgia won the national championship this year, wouldn't surprise me at this point. I got Georgia at number 5.
Yeah, I kind of went a different road on number 5. I went Ole Miss. They took 2 or 3 from Vandy, which has been pitching real well. They're 12-9, same record as Georgia, Alabama. There's about 4 or 5 of them with that same record, so I guess it's just pick them.
Yep, and I went with Ole Miss at number 6 because of what you said, 2 of 3 versus Vandy, and so I put Georgia at 5 and Ole Miss at 6. Who'd you have in the 6th spot?
I had Georgia.
Right,
we just split Ole Miss and Georgia.
All right, so Texas, LSU, Arkansas, Tennessee, Georgia, and Ole Miss. We flip-flopped those 2, 5, and 6. Ty, did we leave Alabama out wrong at the end? I think the top 4 are pretty indisputable at this point, but you could have several options. I think Vandy's out of that conversation right now because they did get beat this weekend. OU's out for that reason because of the Georgia series, but Bama would be another team you could throw in there at this point. We get anything wrong?
I think, like you said, top 4 is pretty easy to select, and then after that, it's just kind of it's all pretty close. So I don't see any issue with that. If you want to toss Bama in there in the 5 or 6 range, that's up for it. But there's a lot. You mentioned Arkansas being tied with LSU earlier in the show. Texas has got this they're a wide lead above everyone right now, and then there's a lot of other really, really good baseball teams that are, I don't know, neck and neck, but really close. So,
but if you had to take Texas or the field for the national title, where would you go right now?
Well, you can't pick Texas. You can't ask me to do that. That'd be painful to watch. It was painful to watch Texas go all the way to the SEC championship in football in year 1 after we told all these Texas fans how difficult the Southeastern Conference was. Now, they got the benefit of the schedule, and Oklahoma got just shafted when it came to the 2 differences, but I can't in good faith hope that Texas wins the whole thing in year 1 in the SEC.
I'd take the field. It's just about playing your best ball at the right time. I don't know if Texas can sustain this the whole way, but maybe that's heart over head.
Now, if you said, Ty, do you get the SEC, let's say the SEC gets like 12 teams in, I don't know what it's going to actually be, or the rest of the field, I'd take the SEC for their 6th straight national title, I think it is, in the last COVID year, but that would be for baseball-wise.
Okay. So I don't know if 6 is right, but they played in, forget how many they've had a team in
Vanderbilt, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, LSU, Tennessee. Tennessee.
Right,
yeah, that's the 6th straight. They just had the COVID year.
By the way, did I see, or was this a fake headline? I shouldn't ask if it was a fake headline on the air, but did Lamonis get fired at State?
He did.
Okay.
Yep.
I was like, what? I mean, but that's how brutal this league is, Bruce. I read that news early this morning that Lamonis was out at Mississippi State.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it happens in football, now it's happening in baseball. You win a national championship, you think you got security for your career, and like 3 years later, you're gone.
Isn't that wild? I mean, so their season right now.
You got Gene Chiswick.
Yeah, he's 25-19. They're 17-14 overall. They won 1 game at Auburn this last weekend. He went 232-135. Only national championship that school has ever won was directed by him. And yes, 4 years later, he's fired. So it's pretty wild. Like you said, that's a good way to frame it, Bruce. It's just like football nowadays, and you'll see this in basketball too.
All right, that's our Pradco Pyramid of Power, Bruce. I know the water's still up on some of the lakes. I know that the dams up in the north side of our state are, they've been opening floodgates and trying to let water down. What and where seems to be working right now?
Well, I'd look for steep banks, bluff banks where there's clean water. You can catch topwater fish all day long right now, even if the sun's shining. So throw a Rebel Pop-R, Booyah Boss Pop, Head and Boyo, Super Spook Junior. Fish are really, they're post-spawn. They're hitting topwater right now. And then you can always catch fish on a War Eagle jig head, like a 1/8 ounce jig head and a thumping dinger. But fish are biting. You just got to work a little harder. They're probably not in the backs of these pockets on these lakes because they're pulling so much water. But they'll be on steep banks, main lake points, bluff banks, things like that.
All right, find it at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores everywhere. LureNet's the place you can go, and with $35 orders, you get free shipping in the U.S. Bruce, have a great rest of your Tuesday, and we'll
enjoy
D.C.
Yeah. Went to a Nationals game last night. It was a blowout, 19-5.
So, all right, we'll see you next Tuesday.
All right, see y'all.
All right, Bruce Stanton with us every Tuesday from Pradco and our Pradco Pyramid of Power. So if you haven't downloaded the Oakland Sports app, be sure and do that right now. NBA playoffs are well underway. You've got WNBA that you can wager on, golf. They've got 3 more majors to go. Soccer, tennis, table tennis, and a whole lot more is there. If you're a new customer, get $1,000 in bonus bets. Once you deposit, you're automatically enrolled in the promotion. Get a second chance on your first bet each of your first 10 days for up to $100 per day. Download it now, the Apple app or Google Play Store. It's the Oakland Sports app. You can find it right there. Arkansas's best sports betting app. Bet with a brand you trust. Bet with Oakland Sports.
Got your hog update coming up next.
I know there's a lot of people that don't like me. They made sure to tell me about it when I was in the stadium last year. We have to have a rivalry. You got to create it somehow.
Yeah. This is the Morning Rush.
I love my life, love my husband.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Adventure doesn't wait, and neither should you. Start your next journey at Arkansas's #1 fifth wheel dealer, Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas. No matter the size of your family or your budget, Wheels RV has a new travel trailer or fifth wheel to help you explore the great outdoors. And with our exclusive lifetime warranty on every new RV, you can hit the open road with peace of mind. Come see us on 412 in Tawnytown or check us out at wheelsrv.net. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This is the Morning Rush.
Touchdown, Arkansas!
I'm ignorant when it comes to a lot of topics. Thankfully, I listened to my friend's advice on the housing market and called Jeff Marks at Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. Jeff made the process smoother than Mama's gravy.
Ty, you got to throw in some homemade biscuits with that gravy and a great local real estate professional to guide you down the right path. One of the keys is knowing what to do and certainly what not to do.
You communicated and were transparent throughout the process.
Ty, like you, anyone can call me, Jeff Marks, at 479-414-1193. For your big decisions, I have simple solutions.
The paint store in Van Buren is still the place to go to when doing the job right really matters. Our unique line of Richards paint products was chosen by me to perform for you. This is Sue, and my 35 years of experience ensures you get the right paint and the right color. That's important to you and me. Thank you for your support. Come see what I'm talking about. 1414 Fayetteville Road, the paint store, Van Buren.
Attention business owners, are you overpaying for your website, dropping thousands up front and shelling out more than $95 a month? Stop the madness! With Modular Orange, you get a custom-built, fully managed website for just $95 a month. No hidden fees, no headaches. They write it, build it, launch it, update it, and secure it so you can focus on your business. Ditch the overpriced hassle and go simple. Visit modularorange.com today. That's modularorange.com.
Spring has arrived, bringing warmer days, road trips, and unpredictable spring showers. That's why it's the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart. From top quality tires to expert service at competitive prices, we'll make sure your vehicle is ready for all your spring adventures. Visit our Fort Smith location at 9700 Highway 271 and let us prepare your ride for whatever the season brings. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. Southern Tire Mart, we keep America rolling.
Hey, this is Dr. Cole Johnson at River Valley Smile Center. You hear my partner, Dr. Charles Liggett, at 12:15 on halftime every Monday. Dr. Liggett and I have worked at River Valley Smile Center together for 11 years now. Like the Hogs, we have a great team. Do you have a unique dental procedure, a complex dental problem, or are you just nervous about dental work? Come see me for sedation dentistry, implants, implant-supported dentures, as well as cosmetic dentistry. We are located at 8309 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith at the River Valley Smile Center. Check us out online at rivervalleysmiles.com or call 479-646-0706.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Are you in the market for a new office printer or multifunction device? Look no further. At Dixie Digital Imaging, we bring a legacy of experience and a rock-solid reputation. Our state-of-the-art solutions are tailored to meet your business needs seamlessly. Why settle for anything less? Call us now at 479-783-6600 to get a quote on your next office printer or multifunction device. Elevate your office efficiency with Dixie Digital Imaging, where experience and reputation meet excellence. That's Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell. Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Give me the
There's only one Razorback.
Uncle Tommy loves the Razorbacks.
Razorback fans, let's stand up and call those.
107 down.
This one belongs to the Razorbacks. Ball's on the ground, picked up by Colin. Alex has got room.
Everybody, Woo Pig Suey. This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
So we got a text earlier on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline coming from Jason in Drasco, Arkansas, which we know is by Keeper Springs. We found that out last
Tannenbaum.
week. Yeah,
where the golf course is there.
Dave,
number 11.
Terrible
golf.
When we mentioned earlier in the show that the game tonight between Arkansas and Missouri State, a rematch from a game earlier in Baumgartner earlier this season, has been canceled, he said that Dave has been saving pitchers. Dave Van Horn, after the game on Sunday,
starting pitching got to get better, got to show us a little more.
Not that all the guys that you play at a midweek game would be massive, huge factors over the course of the weekend, but it does help you set up for this matchup against the Texas Longhorns, which is a Thursday, Friday, Saturday series. Number one team in the country that's coming in here this weekend. What did you tell me? You have, 50 tickets for the games this weekend?
Oh, yeah.
Or is it 60?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. Just looking to give them away. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, tickets.
Good Samaritan.
I guess it will be a full house. Does the loss of steam the last 3 weekends curtail the crowds, or I worry a little bit about weather this weekend. I sure hope that we don't get in one of these deals where, well, if you got Friday tickets, you're just SOL. We're gonna use. Now the other day when they had a double header, they cleared the stadium, which ought to be policy. If you're going to play all 3 games, all 3 tickets should be good. But I hope we don't get in one of these deals. Hopefully the weather will cooperate.
So just looking again, I'm an Apple weather guy. Just looking at that on Thursday, there's forecast for early morning. On Friday, it's like around lunch. So I don't, knock on wood, I don't think that's going to affect the games this weekend in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Hopefully that is an issue. I know the women's softball team at home this weekend against LSU, highest ranking they've received in the history of their program by Softball America. They check it at number 2 in the recent poll. So I know baseball team has slipped a little bit. And you say slip, they're still a top 15 in the country. They're number 11. And they're tied for second in the SEC. That is, again, I go back and forth this sometimes because I understand that Dave Van Horn has checked literally every box on this campus when it comes to the baseball program except for a national championship. But it's also funny, like when there is a lull, there is a stretch where they have a lack of success. It's like you look up and they're still a top 15 in the country and tied for second in the Southeastern Conference.
Just get to the postseason, and I would say I've done enough at this point to be in the tournament, right?
Yeah.
I don't know that they've done enough yet to claim a spot as a host for the regional. They're certainly not a host at this point, or a lock for a host as a super regional, as a top 8, but they're still in that mix, absolutely. So, but all you got to do is get in the tournament. Even if you had to go on the road as a 2 seed somewhere in the regional, get hot at the right time. That's what counts. That's what matters ultimately, is playing good ball, whether it's at home or on the road. You just got to get in the tournament. I think they're in the tournament. Be great to host. Be great to host all the way through. Great for the fans, but that's not the ultimate thing at this point.
All right, do you want to be Sherlock Holmes or Tom Watson in this situation?
Or who? Tom Watson.
Not Tom Watson. It's Watson? What's
Watson?
Watson. All right. So
I'd like to be Tom Watson.
We're gonna play with Sherlock Holmes. So I did a little digging yesterday.
All right.
Did a little digging. I told you I saw Bobby Petrino enter XNA as I was exiting XNA. He was visiting 4-star 2026 commit Javon Gilmore, because Javon posted a picture with him. Thanks for Coach Petrino stopping by yesterday in, I guess, Gilmore, South Carolina. Or not Gilmore, sorry. Somewhere in South Carolina. Gaffney? Yeah, I think it's Gaffney, South Carolina. So I did some digging yesterday.
Sounds certain on that.
Yeah. All right.
I'm going to guess he was flying nonstop to Charlotte. So.
I'm going to guess that's the case as well. I'm surprised they didn't get him a private all by himself. All right, that is your hog update.
Pricey.
Yeah, it could be. And that is your hog update. It's brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
All right, when I play this song, you know who this is.
Willie.
Okay. It is his
on the road
again. 92nd birthday today. Born in 1933.
Don't smoke that weed. You won't live as long.
Guess not. Well, that's a perfect segue for our friend David Rath.
Just look at Willie.
Yeah.
How old? 92.
Yeah, 92 years old. David, best Willie Nelson song there is out there.
Oh, that's hard, dude. I recently bought Redheaded Stranger on vinyl, and I actually been listening to that, but that's kind of a front to back record. So I don't know. I mean, we'll say Redheaded Stranger. Why not?
I could see as a vinyl guy, no question about that. David had a chance last week to stop by the Monty Car Care Center, top to bottom. They checked every part of my vehicle. I love just the process. I know you guys are highly rated, like a 4.7 out of 5. There's been so many people that have stopped by and see you in Springdale, your dad in Fort Smith, that have a similar experience that I did last week.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, unfortunately, we just don't seem to talk about the shop as often. But yeah, both of our Meineke Car Care Centers, those are top-rated Meineke shops in the country. That one in Fort Smith is usually in the top 1, 2, 3. And then the one up here, it's a little bit younger, so it's usually up in that top 10 ranking. But yeah, those guys are excellent. Great people working for us in those shops. And that's where we run all our recon. So, we talk a lot about our old, road ready certified pre-owned inventory, all that good stuff. Kind of, doing the inspections and the clean bill of health. We do that for our customers' cars too. So, they do a free inspection when you bring it in for service, save you money on your brakes, save you money on your oil changes, tires, all that good stuff. So yeah, anything you need, those guys are be able to make sure your vehicle's tip top.
Every crevice, top to bottom. Again, Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith and Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. Just found out again that he got our friend David Rath got redheaded stepchild on vinyl. David, appreciate the Willie update, buddy.
Thanks, man.
Going from Coach Saban to Coach DeBoer, it's like going to bed married to Beyonce and waking up with Whoopi Goldberg laying next to you, brother. How do we accept it?
This is the Morning Rush.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Adventure doesn't wait, and neither should you. Start your next journey at Arkansas's #1 fifth wheel dealer, Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas. No matter the size of your family or your budget, Wheels RV has a new travel trailer or fifth wheel to help you explore the great outdoors. And with our exclusive lifetime warranty on every new RV, you can hit the open road with peace of mind. Come see us on 412 in Tawnytown or check us out at wheelsrv.net. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This is the Morning Rush.
Great to be on here with you guys. I think you guys do awesome work, and I really enjoy listening to you.
It's time for the Rath Rod Replacement Sale at Rath Auto Resources. Right now, bring in your old car and get up to $3,750 above appraised market value for your trade. Take advantage of over $20,000 in recent price reductions on our road-ready certified pre-owned inventory, inspected and reconditioned in our on-site Meineke Car Care Center and backed by a comprehensive warranty. It's the Rath Rod Replacement Sale all this month at Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, rathautofortsmith.com.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023, Anheuser-Busch, Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Brothers Roofing and Restoration, a licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Since his playing days for the Hogs, Brother Alexander has been on rooftops, many years as an adjuster, and in the past decade as a roofing contractor. He knows how to help you through the insurance process while replacing your roof using only the industry's best materials. And being a lifelong Arkansan, he'll be here to stand behind his workmanship and warranty. Call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother and his team to inspect your roof.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted Best Garage Door Company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
When second's making a play, short's got to cover.
A winning insurance strategy doesn't rely on one person.
Good hustle, good hustle.
Communicate with your guys and make sure everyone's in the right coverage. It takes a team that knows its roles well, working together to provide an exceptional experience.
Set the screen. You have to protect yourself. 1, 2, 3, 4.
At Shelter Insurance, you can count on our local agents and award-winning customer service to help you protect what matters most.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Brad Howe in Van Buren.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
Here's some exciting news for golf enthusiasts. The Golf Nut is thrilled to announce new arrivals for 2025, including Callaway Elite Woods and Irons, the new generation Pro V1 and Pro V1X golf balls, as well as a full range of lab putters, including the latest OZ model. Schedule a lesson or fitting on one of our indoor simulators to elevate your game. Visit the Golf Nut at 5121 Towson Avenue and experience golfing greatness for over 30 years.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The only two things in life that make it worth living is guitars tuned good and firm feeling women. I don't need my name in the marquee lights. I got my song, got you with me tonight. Maybe it's time we got back to the basics of love. Let's go to living boy. This successful life we're living got us feeling like the Hatfields and McCoys.
All right, we're back on the Morning Rush. It's time for our cart path clean. Morning Rush Daily Question. It's Willie Nelson's 92nd birthday. No, that's not Willie Nelson right there. What song is this, Ty?
Waylon Jennings, Lukenbach, Texas.
Lukenbach, Texas, which Willie will pipe in here in just a second. But the point I wanted to bring up as we get to our Morning Rush Daily Question, which is best Willie Nelson song, and I've got my list. But so many of you can keep that up, Colton. You can talk over. So many of the best ones of Willie were sung with Merle, with Waylon, the Highwaymen, Christofferson. I mean, all those guys, whether it's Pancho and Lefty or, and he did so many duets, but how many of Willie's songs are sing-along songs? Probably doesn't get enough credit, but I would say best Willie Nelson song. What are they? You can text in on the Lewis Automotive hotline.
Not Redheaded Stepchild, which I apparently said. It's Redheaded Stranger. I apologize.
I would go probably in this order. Always on My Mind. I don't know if we can get that queued up, but the chorus on that is awesome. You Were Always on My Mind. Probably Mamas Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys might be one of the more famous ones, but that's with Waylon and Willie. And then Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain would probably be my three. On the Road Again, which we played earlier, probably as popular as any. Do you even know who Willie Nelson is?
I know who Willie Nelson is, but I don't know if this is the question that I'm going to be. You keep going on this because I'm not. Or read some of these texts that we're about to get because I'm not. Because
you have no. If I said name me one Willie Nelson song besides the ones I just named, you would be out, right?
I got the ones that Colton wrote on the rundown.
Maybe this would be your song. Roll me up and smoke me till I die. When I die, rather. Roll me up and smoke me when I die. Maybe that should be your song.
According to our contract or employee memorandum we signed, we're not supposed to do that.
So this one's mine.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
This one's mine because it just starts so strong.
Whiskey River, take my
Don't let your memory torture me.
Whiskey River's good one.
All right, let's read some of these. Josh in Farmington says 7 Spanish Angels. Carmen in Fort Smith says Angel Flying Too Close to the Ground. Jackson from Little Rock saying It's Always on My Mind. It's not even close. Cliff saying On the Road Again, the one we played earlier.
Always on my mind. Get that one there. Don't.
I like Angel Flying Too Close to the Ground. That is a text of the 479 as well. So plenty of responses.
Willie's a great listen. I mean, great.
I'm going to ask this question, and you probably don't have it. Is he still touring at 92 years old?
There was a concert recently, yeah. I mean,
in Fayetteville?
I guess
I don't know where it was at, but yeah, he's still out doing it. Those are the guys that really love the music, that do it for the music. I mean, they're still getting a little bit of scratch out of the deal, but
just a little.
Well, I don't know that Willie's. I mean, Willie's not playing big venues for big dollars anymore, but
I would guess his agent is.
But
making,
he transcends a lot of generations.
Here we go.
Crank it up.
You were always on my mind.
Billy Nelson, 92 today.
I got a question. David kind of brought it up. We were talking last segment. Do either of y'all or anyone here listening, have you ever owned a record player? I've seen them.
Like an LP?
Friends
I have one.
have had them.
It's awesome.
Is it true that actually
fairly popular right now?
Music sounds better on vinyl?
Sounds more authentic.
It's a different sound.
Get the pops and the scratches, particularly old records,
Okay. Because David's still texting me. He said he didn't have necessarily 100. Van Halen's 1984 sounds insanely good, is what he told me. But he's built up quite a collection, like you saying. It's making a comeback. I don't really follow pop culture.
Oh, it has been for 4 or 5 years now, or maybe longer.
I've got 30 or 40 years so spanning a bunch of decades. It's really cool to plug it in and listen, and I have mine hooked up to some speakers that make it sound even better. So if you're thinking about getting one, it is worth the investment to find some, and then find some old music you like, because there's tons and tons of records at tons and tons of thrift shops and stores all around here. Good music.
So Pearson Broadcasting, which owns the company we work for, has been in this building longer than I've worked here.
Mm-hmm.
They bought this building in 2002. I came to work here in 2004, or moved into this building. Prior to that, there were 2 other radio stations. And the first one that moved in here, we had our main studio in this very room we're sitting in today. And we had a classic country station for a brief period of time. And Uncle Tommy actually spun vinyl in this very room you're sitting in, like 30 years ago, 1995-ish. 96.
I like when you say something dated or a story from a while ago, you refer to yourself as Uncle Tommy.
Yeah.
Continue.
Well, I'm only like 20 years older than you. But in this very room is the only place I've really ever spun vinyl, like on the radio. We had cart decks.
Give us a taste.
Would you debate?
Well, it was stuff like Willie, because Willie was classic country 30 years ago. So to get the classic country, this was before CDs were wildly popular. We didn't have digital. You didn't have music stored digitally then. So everything was off a record or a cart or a cassette or a CD.
Was your show better back then, or is the morning rush eclipsed that?
Much better back then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give us a taste. Give us a taste, Tommy.
Yeah.
He said you didn't have a co-host.
Well, give me a better song.
Just pick the first one that popped up.
Let's hold on. Let's bring this back for a second
and hit the post the whole bit.
Well, occasionally what happens is when he said play this, and you're asking a 30, and how old are you, Colton? 28?
20. I'm 25, but
I didn't have to coach Colton up on how to say Lukenbach, Texas.
I said it right the second time. I struggle with words, as you all know.
No bleep.
By the way,
bleep.
I gotta read this text. I had this read out. So Phil and I do the same thing each and every morning. I'll listen. So I get here. I don't have to do Chuck and Bo stuff now anymore. So I get here at 5:30 instead of 5 a.m. and I'll listen in and out of their show, work on various other things. But I always read the text line before, and the text line the day before as well. We got a text. You're gonna laugh at this because it's the single dumbest text we've ever received on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. It's from, and I love Bob and Branson. He seems like a fan, but it says, Tommy, have Ty do 7 hours of radio a day. That's his suggestion as a outside looking in program director. Bob, there would not be a way to burn the station to a ground financially more than that way. I promise. No one wants that. Not me or anyone else listening. All right, that is your Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily Question, kind of a roundabout way to end it there. Brought to you by Christian Olson and Nate Gearhand's Cart Pass Social, #1 indoor golf destination in all of Arkansas, 122 Grant Place in Lowell. Birthday parties, corporate events, Tommy's personal favorite, gender reveals, 479-487-3622. Heck, maybe you can convince your significant other to have an engagement party there so it can actually be fun for you and your friends, not just her. CartPassSocial.com. It's always BYOB. at Cart Pass Social. You had referred to this. We didn't have time to necessarily jump into it, but you kind of asked the question a little bit earlier. Is Arkansas going to be a national seed? I think the answer is no. You got the number one, number 2 teams you got to play in the next 2 weeks, and
you're already
then
assuming they're not going to win the series.
You'd be lucky to split the way you're playing right now. Like split this series between Texas or LSU. I think it's safe to assume that you're going to lose one, if not both of those series, just based on how you're playing right now.
Well, how many national seeds are there, Ty?
There's 8.
There's 8.
You
don't have to be number 1. You could be number 6, 7, or 8.
You're right.
You don't want to be number 8 because you'd have to play Texas in the opening, perhaps play Texas in the opening round of the College World Series if you advance that far. But you know what? That'd be better than not going at all. But to say they're not going to end up in the top 8 with the schedule they got,
you're against that. Why? Just because
I think the top 4 in this league are going to get national seeds. Maybe the top 5. I could see. You said 5 of the top 8 in the NCAA's seedings are going to be SEC teams. I'd agree with that at this point.
Okay.
Texas is clearly the favorite to be the number 1 overall seed. LSU, Arkansas, Tennessee, and probably Georgia. Now, you've got to win some of these series. I mean, your work is not done, and tiebreakers are going to matter. But, I mean, to your point, if they keep playing the way they've been playing, no, they're not going to be. But they haven't done that yet. And they're playing 2 of these last 3 series at home. So let's turn it around, get some things going. There's some reasons to have concern, but all they got to do is take care of about half the games in front of them. They got 9 games left. You win 4 or 5 of those, you're a national seed.
I look at the perspective that you pointed out earlier where you talked about, hey, not that you don't want to beat Texas this weekend, but maybe it's more significant to beat LSU and Tennessee. LSU you're tied with. Tennessee's not far behind you. I think the most likely thing to happen of these next 3 series, to be perfectly honest, and I hope I'm wrong, is that you beat Tennessee to close out the regular season, but you lose to Texas and you lose to LSU, just based on how you've been playing as of late. Now, we know in baseball sometimes things can flip, sometimes things can change. Maybe this team goes on a tear this weekend and bashes and beats Texas up. But if you lose 5 of your last 6 series heading into postseason, I guess we'll see what happens in the SEC tournament in Hoover, Alabama. I don't think that.
So Arkansas's ranked where?
Number 11.
Any guess where they're at in the RPI this morning? The NCAA RPI?
I'm gonna guess you're telling me like 2 or 3.
They're number 5.
Okay.
Texas is 1. Georgia is 2. Vanderbilt is 3. Auburn is 4. How in the world is this right? That's what it is. April 28th, 2025. Texas, Georgia, Vanderbilt, Auburn, Arkansas, Florida State, North Carolina, Clemson, LSU, Tennessee are the top 10. So you're 5th in the RPI. You're top 4 in this league. You tell me you're not going to be one of the top 8 national seeds. Now, 9 games to go. You haven't accomplished that yet, but I think that's
Scott thinks they're going to go 6-3 these next 9, and Jackson texted in saying Tommy the pessimist was right in this situation.
Okay. Hey, every Wednesday night, take the kid what was that last word?
You're right.
Right. Oh, right. Yeah, okay. Hey, every Wednesday night, Joe's Grill and Cantina. They get a delicious meal for the kids for $5 on Wednesday night. Yeah, bringing out the crayons for the coloring contest where kids can win cool prizes. And the fun doesn't stop there. They also have kids karaoke on Wednesday night, so bring them out for some great singing. They can do some Willie on Wednesday night. That's tomorrow night at Joe's Grill and Cantina. $5 kid meals Wednesday nights, Joe's Grill and Cantina. Come for the food, stay for the fun. Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street across from Harps. Wade's going to bring us some food here in the next week or 2. I was talking to him the other day. He wants to come feed us one day.
Let's go. Hour 2, Tom Murphy coming up next.
Adventure doesn't wait, and neither should you. Start your next journey at Arkansas's #1 fifth wheel dealer, Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas. No matter the size of your family or your budget, Wheels RV has a new travel trailer or fifth wheel to help you explore the great outdoors. And with our exclusive lifetime warranty on every new RV, you can hit the open road with peace of mind. Come see us on 412 in Tawnytown or check us out at wheelsrv.net. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Largemouth bass will be spawning soon at ponds and lakes all over Arkansas and Oklahoma. One of the best lures to catch them on at this time is the famous Yum Dinger. We make them by the truckloads in Fort Smith in 3, 4, 5, and 6 inch sizes, and they are in tackle boxes of bass anglers all over the U.S. and all over the world. Wacky rigging the 5-inch model can't be beat for spawning bass. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Yum Dinger.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This is the morning.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Sandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Taco Bell brought back crispy chicken nuggets, and I can't believe how good they are.
Why can't you believe it?
Because you're Taco Bell. Taco Bell.
Yeah, but a taco place can do nuggets, right?
Yeah, the Hidden Valley Fire Ranch is awesome.
Okay, they're good, but we're not a chicken place.
When did you guys become a chicken place?
Chicken? Can't a taco place do good nuggets? Are we not allowed to do both?
What do you mean?
You think it's cool to do both, right? Why are you looking at me like that?
Are they okay?
I don't think so.
We're totally a taco place that's a chicken place that's also a taco place.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
So let's take you back to the concrete streets. Original beats and real live MCs. Playground tactics, a rabbit and a hat trick.
Introducing the Azalea
So let's take you back to the concrete streets. Original beats and real live MCs. Playground tactics, a rabbit and a hat trick.
Built for comfort.
So let's take you back to the concrete streets. Original beats and real live MCs. Playground tactics. So let's take you back to the concrete streets. Original beats and real live MCs. Playground tactics. A rabbit and a hat tricks. Just back classic raps.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for all your sports betting action. Baseball season is in full swing, and we're into the home stretch for NBA and NHL playoffs. BetOnline has more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news, and scores, even live in-game betting while the games are being played. With the largest selection of odds on everything from the MLB, NHL, and UFC, BetOnline remains the number one online source for all your sports wagering information. In between games, head over to BetOnline Casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Natural state. Glad you found the perfect place for all your Razorback talk. And that Razorback walk. This is the big showcase.
Hey guys, I believe y'all hit the nails on the head about what we gotta do to win. Your gate can start now.
He leads the way with pride, and time may never find a bride. These two just won't be denied. Bringing you the latest news, just a couple normal dudes. Some night you were ready, what are you feeling lucky and bad? Let us feel your ears for radio. Hey, you take sure with a fine little rush. Hey, it's in the morning rush. Hey,
Live from the Bushlight Studios, this is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
All right, so we've gone over a couple things this morning, including Willie Nelson's 92nd birthday. Figured out where Bobby Petrino was on his way out of X&A. And Tommy called me fat. So that's the first hour of the show.
You trim that up,
in a nutshell.
Tried to give you a shirt, and it was too small for you. Fit Colton.
Yeah, I'm wearing it. I'm wearing it now. Looks good.
Oh, so I have some work to do, not just with my own body, but other assets in my life. So we'll see if it gets worked out.
Hey, if you're coming up for the weekend, if you're looking for a place to stay, the Inn at the Mill is the spot. We always love the Inn at the Mill because they got big, oversized suites, conveniently located to all the main attractions in Northwest Arkansas, right off exit 69 at I-49. So call them at 479-443-1800, 479-443-1800, or again, online at innatthemill.com. If you're looking for a top-quality fence, the only place to do it is the Fence Man. He told us last Friday that things are starting to speed up here and for spring and summer. Everybody's trying to get that fence in now. If you're building a new home, if you're looking maybe to remodel the backyard, you need a fence. You got a backyard, you're moving into a home without a fence. The Fence Man can do it, but it's about a 4 to 6 week lead up time right now. They are, and listen, that's the kind of company you want. If someone can get there today or even this week, they're probably not very busy, and they're not very busy for a reason. You want a company that is in demand, that people want, that'll give you a fair price. 782-3936. And here's the thing. They're going to be here to stand behind their work. They've been around for more than 40 years. And if there's an issue with your fence, it doesn't leave when the taillights cross over the horizon there and you can't see that truck anymore. You'll have someone to stand behind the quality of the materials and the craftsmanship in which it was installed. I've had a gate or two that needed adjustment over time. The Fence Man came out and took care of that for me and was just happy to do it. 782-3936, the Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
When you hear that,
the globe to bring you the constant variety of sport.
you know what this is? So
the guy's going to dive in Acapulco down. The guy's going to flip and tumble down the ski slopes. Yeah, absolutely.
On this day in 1961, ABC's Wild World of Sports debut. For like a 35-year run, it played on Saturday afternoons. You immediately knew who Jim McKay was.
Absolutely. They used to go to Acapulco. We went and ate there at the La Perla restaurant in Acapulco. The one time we went there, that's where the cliff divers would do
That's awesome.
Cliff diving, and they did it that night. Yeah, okay. I mean that was one of the Wide World of Sports episodes they did.
Yeah, we bring in our friend Tom Murphy, courtesy of the Arkansas Beef Council here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Does that ring a bell, Tom? Tommy was quick to snap to with Jim McKay. Does that ring a bell with you?
Man, if you're a certain age, you know what that music meant. The dude, going off the high slope.
Yeah, that's the first thing I saw. Got tumbling down the hill.
And I tell you, man, I'm a sports person, and that music and that show was kind of one of the reasons it was so dramatic.
Yeah.
And for our generation, or I'm older than you, Tommy, it was just emblematic of the thrill of sports, man. It was something else.
The thrill of victory, the agony of defeat. The way he delivered those lines too. I mean, that became, part of a cliche in our society. It became one of them one-liners you'd repeat. Kind of like
it really did. It really, really did. And it's etched in our memories. And I think the Super 70 Sports Twitter account, that's one of the T-shirts that guy sells. I think his name's Ricky Cobb. Is the skier going down that slope because, Super 70 Sports, man.
We got invited, our intramural team at the University of Arkansas, for the Disney complex made it the wide world of sports. They kind of transformed it after this debut. We couldn't go, but have you ever had a cheer competition or anything?
Not there, but I know exactly where it's at. I know exactly where you're talking about. Yeah.
Okay. I thought that was a cool way to segue into our conversation with Tom this morning. Tom, the Missouri State game's been canceled tonight. Arkansas gets a little bit more rest prior to this game against Texas this weekend. How beneficial do you think it's going to be for this baseball team not having to bus over to Springfield and play this game tonight, save some pitching for Thursday and beyond?
Yeah, it's really hard to say whether it'll be good or bad for them. I mean, they're in a little bit. I mean, it's hard to call it a tailspin, but it's certainly the biggest struggles they've had this year. And maybe in the long run, it'll be good that they didn't have to bus 2 hours, play a game, bus 2 hours, and that they're rested because they've got to get it back together. They got to get more length out of their starters. I mean, but who had Gage Wood combining for a shutout in his second start back from his deal? So I think Root and Vital Cheese, they've got to get more out of them. And honestly, as Dave pointed out after the final game at Florida, clutch hitting. They had a ton of it early on, and we kind of grew to expect it. And now that they're in this little struggle bus, they have a 5-run inning and they lead 5-1, but they can't hold on to the lead. So there's some issues to work out, and you're playing the number 1, number 2, and number 6 teams in the country to finish out the season. That's pretty tough.
They're not getting quality starts, as you mentioned, out of their starters right now. They're only as good right now, it seems to be, as the bullpen in most cases. And is losing Nolan Souza, is that kind of the point where this team turned, and that was the crossroads moment? Because that seems like where this team changed, or was that just a function of schedule as well?
Well, that's tough to answer with any definitive, rationale. It was the Georgia series, and it was the first one they lost. And Gabe Frazier has hit the ball pretty well. Defensively, I don't know if it's been that costly, but it's certainly a piece to everything that's happened. I think in their heart of hearts, they feel like if they get Parker Coyle back and Wood continues to pitch well, they can catch fire again offensively and resemble the team they were when they were number 1 in the country for several weeks in a row and all firing on all cylinders. So it's hard to put your finger on exactly how do we get our mojo back, and it's going to be tough with these 3 series. But I think if they can go 500 or 5-4, 4-5 these last 9 games, they still have a really good shot at being a regional host.
Yeah, and I think even a top 8 national seed and a super regional host as well. I know this because we've seen it for 20-plus years. There's few better at turning things around than Dave Van Horn. And we're getting to that point soon where no more class schedules to work around. It's 100% baseball. You get to act and be treated like a pro, and it's all day, every day. This may be one of the more difficult turnaround jobs. We'll see how it goes this weekend, but Dave Van Horn knows how to circle the wagons better than anyone.
He's really good at it. We've seen it happen time and again. And as we talked about with the starting pitching depth, with the length of their starts, I like their middle relief right now. I mean, you're talking about Gabe Gackle, Aiden Jimenez can give you 4 innings on a given day. I know that they might prefer if he goes, 1 2/3 on Friday and then can help you finish out Sunday. It didn't work out for them against Georgia. He had pitched a lot more innings Friday, but if they could get him to two shorter stints on the weekend, and you got Dylan Carter, and you got Gabe Gackle, who, the Wood Gackle start against Florida was phenomenal. That they can piece things together, and they got to get a little bit more. They got to get more quality out of McIntyre and some of the other guys. And of course, Wiggins might be done for the year after his situation, so that hurts him some too. But maybe you get Coyle back as they're expecting, and it helps things out from a left-hand perspective.
Tom Murphy, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette, with us here on the Lewis Automotive Group Hotline, brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council. Tom, I made the statement earlier in this last hour that, this team could potentially be in danger of losing national seed. You kind of just referred to it there. Is this a scenario where they could drop out, not necessarily regional, like still be a top 16, but could they drop out of the top 8 these next 3 weekends?
Well, look at the quality of the competition they're about to play. Texas has a 5-game lead. That is hard to picture with 9 games left to play.
They could clinch this weekend. They could clinch this weekend.
It's unbelievable. And then now you got a lot of teams nipping at Arkansas's heels. With that LSU was tied with them, and then you got a series of teams that are 13-8 in league play. So Arkansas could fall behind the Tennessees, and I think Alabama and Vandy. There's several teams, LSU. Ole Miss, that are right there. So, like I said, I think if they're 4-5, 5-4, they're in good shape and maybe top 8. But let's say you go 2-7 somehow, you get swept somewhere along the way, or you go 3-6, then it's a different story. Then you're probably behind a few teams, and when it comes to pecking order, how many SEC teams are going to host and be in line for super regionals? We don't know that, but you don't want to finish the way Arkansas had. You don't want to finish by losing your last. Could it be 6 series in a row? You don't want that. That puts you in jeopardy.
It's kind of interesting because I remember, I'm 99% sure that 22 team did not end the season on a high tone. They lost lost a couple series down the stretch, and then they went to Stillwater, Oklahoma, beat Rock Reggio and company. Then they went to Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and beat a national seed and ended up in Omaha. So it is kind of odd to see how this team kind of goes back and forth.
But is that enough just to end up in Omaha? I think we're past that, right? For a team that's been number 1 a lot of weeks, guys, is that enough just to get to Omaha?
I think it just hurts. It hurts fans. I don't know if feeling's the right word. Pride. It angers them when they see so many SEC teams that keep winning, and Arkansas is not that team. Like anytime, like when Vitello won it.
But it's not
last
like football.
Year.
And football, you're not competitive with those other teams. At least you're nationally competitive with all the teams in baseball. You don't have that box check like Tennessee, like Ole Miss, like Mississippi State. But, Tom, we're not competitive nationally in football. We're competitive nationally. We may not have a national championship, but you're not going to convince me that those programs Ty just listed are any better baseball programs than what Arkansas has just because they have a natty.
Exactly. Arkansas is certainly way up there. And if you add up since 2016, the last year they didn't make the postseason, their record would stack up with anybody. And it's probably better than LSU's in conference, better than Tennessee's in conference since 2016. So I'll answer your question. I think making it to Omaha this year would be enough. Now, once you get there, it's a roll of the dice. How your pitching lines up, your overall health. Do you catch fire there? Arkansas was hitting 320, and might still be hitting 320. That's phenomenal for them given recent years. So, I think with the schedule they have left, and then forget about Hoover. If they go 0-2 or 0-1 in Hoover, it doesn't matter. If they can go 4-5, 5-4, I think they got a host situation. And look, if they don't, there's no specific formula. The 22 team came up with all that clutch play, as you mentioned, in Stillwater and then in Chapel Hill, and made it as well, and advanced in 22. So I don't know. That's the great mystery of college baseball. And you got Mississippi State, which won it just a few years ago, and now Chris Lemonis is already out of a job.
Yeah.
While Dave Van Horn and his program are, they're a powerhouse. There's no question about it.
Yeah. Tom Murphy, Whole Hog Sports, with us on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. It's brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council. Let's change gears because it's not been a great PR 7 days for the football program. With things happening as we discussed last week, and Madden leaving the program, taking the money, and then you've got the state law that was passed kind of late on Friday that we learned about, and then Arkansas suing to get some of that money back. Tom, it's been a rough week or so for Sam Pittman, Hunter Yurchek, and the football program from a PR perspective.
A little sticky, but I'm with Hunter Yurchek on this, and maybe it's just me being old school, but you sign a contract, and we talked about this late last week. You are dealing with a business situation. You might be 18 or 19 years old, but these are contracts. And the way I understand it, though, if he signed for roughly $500, he doesn't have all that money. He's gotten some of it, but of what remains, which is believed to be about $400,000, that he won't be paid. Arkansas wants $200 of that back because he broke the stipulations of the contract. So I don't know when it gets resolved. I don't know how it's going to go. But having Tom Mars on your side is a really good start. Mm-hmm. And the Dasman James one, from the sound of his lawyer talking to CBS Sports, he signed the deal and then left just a few days later. Wasn't paid anything. If this is accurate. And it's really a matter of recouping what Arkansas, what was in the deal. So I don't blame Arkansas for being at the front edge of this, just like Hunter was at the front edge of the buyouts for coaches when you have a lousy record.
Yeah.
So it may be a PR hit they've taken, but I guarantee you a lot of schools are very happy. And apparently it's been happening at some other schools, and it just hasn't been as public as it's been at Arkansas with Madden Iamaleava.
What's your take? What was your reaction when you heard the news that the state legislature had passed legislation allowing athletes in Arkansas that had NIL and revenue sharing agreements to not pay the state tax on that? What was your reaction to that?
Well, my reaction was I had read a story a few weeks ago where I think in Georgia it's the same. There's some stuff in Texas that's very advantageous to holding on to your athletes from a tax perspective. I mean, if you're competing with schools in California, you got them whipped because apparently there's a huge state tax there. So I think it just puts Arkansas more on par. I mean, Missouri's got very favorable state legislation to help with NIL recruitment. It's just the way legislatures have gone, and they understand the function of college football in the operation of a state and the way people view their state. So, I mean, I'm not opposed to the fact that they've done that. I think it puts them more on the playing field with, like, Tennessee's got some state laws as well.
Last one, and we'll let you go. Do you think this creates somewhat more of a divide or a canyon between the fans and the university, the athletic department, and the athletes now?
Well, look, the older fans that I deal with are very frustrated with the whole scenario. And basically what used to be totally forbidden, buying players, is now, I mean, there was a couple of years where other schools were building up. A&M and Ole Miss, their collectives got rolling really fast, and it put Arkansas behind. I mean, there's no question about that. And so there's a frustration level. They haven't been able to stack up the talent. It's hard for me to say for, like, an entire fan base how they feel. There may be younger people in Ty's generation who are all for as much NIL as you can do, and thank you, state legislature, for doing this. I want to have a more competitive football team. But Arkansas is a couple of steps away from being thought of as even like a middle-tier competitor in the SEC right now based on what we've seen from the last 6 years of NIL.
Yeah. Tom will put a pin in it. We'll pick it up Thursday and get ready for it. Arkansas, Texas, Thursday, Friday, Saturday series at Baum Walker.
Gonna heat up, boys. Hey, always enjoy the convo, guys.
All right.
See ya.
Tom Murphy with us, Arkansas Democrat Gazette, Whole Hog Sports on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. It's brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council. You know, on a cattle ranch, calves aren't only raised by their moms, they're also raised by a community of farmers, ranchers, and veterinarians who are committed to getting the healthiest, most comfortable life possible for those baby calves. And because the cattle farmers, ranchers, and those baby calves really take extra care for animal welfare, it's their top priority. Together, we bring more. Beef, it's what's for dinner. This funded by the Beef Farmers and Ranchers of Arkansas and courtesy of Beef, it's what's for dinner.com.
I think one of the problems in all of this when it comes to the football conversation, and Tom kind of alluded to it there, and this doesn't, just because you think something's going to happen or you predict something, obviously, there's plenty of things I've said over the years that haven't come true. But I just feel like we're heading for another 6-6, 500, maybe a bowl win season. Is that a fair set? Do you feel that same way?
Well, I don't have a lot of reason to feel more optimistic.
Like differently?
Like greatly more optimistic than that.
Yeah. And so,
I mean, if you said, hey, how do you feel about 9 wins? I'd say, hey, we need to go get a blood test.
Pump the brakes a little bit. So when elements and things in the offseason happen involving the football program, they're going to be skewed more negative than positive. I personally, when I saw that news on Friday, I looked at it from a positive standpoint. I think everyone else I've talked to has looked at it from a negative standpoint, except for maybe Tom. A little bit.
If you want to be competitive within the I'm not in favor of this. I think if you wanted to basically give $1 million rebate back, that the state could have found a different way to make it more palatable. I don't think all the blowback is going to be on the university.
Like radio host, we can be tax exempt.
Yeah, I mean, where does this be? Why are they more privileged than any of the rest of us? Because that's what you're doing, is you're putting them in a different class and a different status. But the problem is our state has a state income tax. It's not, it's not bloated like other states on the coast. It's 4% roughly, where other places it's 13%. But in Texas and in Tennessee and in Florida, it is 0%. So you're at a competitive disadvantage. And if other states are going to do this and you want your university to be competitive, I see that. I think there's other ways that they could have accomplished the same goal without getting the constituents in their base so fired up. I think this issue is going to come back and bite some people in the backside come election time. And when some of these legislators are up for re-election and they want donations to help fund their campaigns, I think people are going to remember this, and rightfully so.
I mean,
Chuck's been talking about this is creating a larger divide. I think Chuck's right on the money. And the people I'm in text threads with that are of more of a 40s, 50s, 60 age group, haven't heard of one that thinks, man, this is a great idea to let these guys be off the hook for their taxes when I'm trying to figure out, while the only relief we've gotten is they pushed the deadline back to November 3rd from April 15th. That's the only relief we've gotten lately.
Say that one more time.
Well, your taxes are normally due on April 15th, but because of the storms a month or more ago, the federal government, the state government pushed the tax deadline back to April or to November 3rd. Now that only helped you if you were going to file the last minute, because they did that the last minute. But point being, that's the only relief a few got. Now we're going to give 18, 19, 20-year-olds who've contributed in the minds of many and their perception, nothing to the economy, nothing to the society. It's a take kind of deal because, as you pointed out, 5 wins, 6 wins, 7 wins isn't moving the needle. And as it was discussed earlier this morning, if you're doing this following the Tennessee win, or Chuck talking about this, you're doing this following a big NCAA tournament victory in basketball, the sentiment is much, much different.
But they won the Liberty Bowl.
Exactly. So, that
you not seen the ratings?
As I've been told, you shouldn't try to be funny when you're not. So, I mean, stay in your lane, son. But the reality is people, people are fired up about it because they're not seeing a return on the investment. If you had won 9 games last year and 10 of the bowl, this isn't even people aren't worried about it. but they don't see a path to that. They don't see a path to 9 or 10 wins, even 8 wins at this point.
This is
it doesn't seem equitable.
Gavin and Fayetteville, as we close on this is the problem with the tax thing. We're one of the poorest states in the entire country, and they just told us that college kids deserve to live better than the working class. Of course, people are mad.
Yeah. So, you want me to give you $100 a month? That seems like a hard ask from average Arkansas.
I just hope I get paid
fan.
each month.
So, hey, hit the greens for a meaningful cause at the Mercy Fort Smith Birdies for Babies Golf Classic. It's in a couple of Mondays, May the 12th at Hartscrabble Country Club. The 4-person scramble features a morning and afternoon flight, so you can choose what works best for you. They only have a few spots left available, and all proceeds benefit the Maternal Child Services and their local Level 3A NICU at Mercy Fort Smith that helps families close to home. So enjoy a great day of golf while providing essential care for moms and babies right here in our community. Here's where you go to sign up. mercyhealthfoundation.net/birdies for babies. That's 4 FORE. mercyhealthfoundation.net/birdies for babies, or call 479-314-1133. 314-1133, and get your team signed up for the Mercy Birdies for Babies Golf Tournament at Hartscrabble on May the 12th.
All right, Chad Baker Mazar's got a new home. We'll tell you where that is next on the Morning Rush.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
Adventure doesn't wait, and neither should you. Start your next journey at Arkansas's #1 fifth wheel dealer, Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas. No matter the size of your family or your budget, Wheels RV has a new travel trailer or fifth wheel to help you explore the great outdoors. And with our exclusive lifetime warranty on every new RV, you can hit the open road with peace of mind. Come see us on 412 in Tawnytown or check us out at wheelsrv.net. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
Child's plays. Touchdown.
Hey, Hawk fans, it's Bill Elson. Join me and Matt this Thursday from 11 to 2 as we take halftime live to the Stadium Shop on Razorback Road in Fayetteville right before the Hogs take on Texas at Baum Walker. If you're one of the first 25 fans to stop by, you'll get a free Razorback pint glass with any purchase. Plus, Robert, Elizabeth, and Matt are throwing down a deal. Buy a regularly priced clothing item, you'll get a second of equal or lesser value, half off. Great time to grab that Tuck Texas gear. Halftime live Thursday, 11 to 2 at the Stadium Shop. Go Hogs.
Attention business owners, are you overpaying for your website, dropping thousands up front and shelling out more than $95 a month? Stop the madness! With Modular Orange, you get a custom-built, fully managed website for just $95 a month. No hidden fees, no headaches. They write it, build it, launch it, update it, and secure it so you can focus on your business. Ditch the overpriced hassle and go simple. Visit modularorange.com today. That's modularorange.com.
It's time for the Rath Rod Replacement Sale at Rath Auto Resources. Right now, bring in your old car and get $3,750 above appraised market value for your trade. Take advantage of over $20,000 in recent price reductions on our road-ready certified pre-owned inventory, inspected and reconditioned in our on-site Meineke Car Care Center and backed by comprehensive warranty. It's the Rath Rod Replacement Sale all this month at Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, rathautofortsmith.com.
April showers bring May flowers, which brings, June heat. Remember the June heat with the air you can wear? Mike Blaylock with Blaylock Heating and Air Conditioning. We offer the highest efficiency home comfort system on the market today with the York Affinity Series. So for all your high efficiency heating and cooling needs, plumbing and drain cleaning, get a red truck rolling your way today. That's Blaylock Heating and Air Conditioning in York. Give us a call at 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, this is Dr. Charlie Liggett at River Valley Smile Center. You may know me as your local dentist, but I'm a giant Hogs, Dolphins, and college baseball fan as well. Listen to me, Phil, and Matt talk about our 3 ups and downs for the weekend every Monday on halftime at 12:15. At River Valley Smile Center, we're a comprehensive dental facility that offers children's dentistry, dental implants, sedation, whitening, and much, much more. Dr. Cole Johnson, Dr. Hannah Cabe, and myself are located at 8309 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or online at servicemasterpc.com.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The SEC is the best conference in America.
The tough will survive in this game, and I feel like the SEC is the toughest.
Arkansas is the SEC champion.
You know, every game is a dogfight. We're about the toughest there is.
Week in and week out, you're going to play some of the best, the biggest, the fastest. The Hogs have finally climbed the hill. It's the first SEC tournament championship for Arkansas.
Where opponents' dreams come to die.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
So we were talking to Tom about this a little bit earlier. Chris Lamonis out as the Mississippi State head baseball coach. He was the 18th one in the history of their program when he was hired back in June of 2018. Went 25-19 this season, 7-14 in conference play. Here's the deal, though, y'all. Won their only national championship 4 years ago, 2021. So it's not even 4 years removed from the national championship in Omaha, Nebraska, and yet he's out the door.
It's a what have you done for me lately world, and hadn't done enough lately.
I'm just surprised. We've talked about with the changes of revenue. I thought a lot of coaches were going to be safe just with all the changes going on within the athletics department. I know you and I have spoken about that, so that caught me off guard.
Baseball coaches are making more money than they've ever made before, but they don't make football coach money. They don't make high-end basketball coach money. So
Tommy Kraft money, Colton.
Exactly. That double comma, big fat income. So, the buyouts, I don't know what Lamona. Now, he had the leverage. Obviously, he should have redone the deal if he didn't. Shame on him after his national title, and I'm sure he did. But, to get out of an arrangement with a coach, and it's been 4 years, probably not a renewal. I bet it wasn't super duper expensive for Mississippi State in relative terms. A lot of money to me or you, but in relative terms to part company, or they wouldn't have done it. Mm-hmm. There's always more to the story than we're ever going to find out.
Yeah, maybe there's something behind the scenes there that we're unaware of. Chad Baker-Mazara going out west to play for Eric Musselman, commits yesterday. I'm curious. Again, when I see these, and a lot of times the commitments ultimately announced as signings, I didn't see anything about him signing with USC just yet. Maybe that's been out there since, but found that interesting. Apparently, he's getting paid a lot of money to play for the Trojans. Eric Musselman, I guess, stockpiling the NIL budget out there USC's in Pasadena and
LA.
UCLA's in Los Angeles, or I switched that up. I think that's right.
Both are in the greater Los Angeles area.
So I find that dynamic is going to be really interesting for the former Auburn Tiger.
Yeah, have fun on them plane rides across the country.
That is so unappealing to me. Even like going to school like Michigan, Ohio State, having to travel all the way out west, or Rutgers is a little bit closer. But
they only have to do it once a year.
That's a good
South
point.
Southern Cal and UCLA got to do it half the year.
Yeah, all the time. Last thing here in your SEC update this morning.
Oregon too, I guess.
Where did it go? Oh,
what?
My sheet dropped. I'm trying to read it from the floor. The NFL draft has now had
Probably just to pick it up.
232 consecutive rounds with an SEC player selected, dating back to 1993, and that happened this weekend too.
The SEC still had the most draft picks in every draft since 07. So, the dominance is still there. Does that mean you got the best league? Listen, the results on the field aren't adding up to that, but as far as players taken and who the NFL looks as the gold standard, it is. Now, all that matters is, who we're seeing in these playoffs, who's winning the national titles, and, the Big Ten's had the better of the league the last few years. So, but this is one indicator. It's not the indicator.
All right, that is your SEC update here on a Tuesday morning.
Brought to you by my friends at Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Adventure does not have to wait on you, nor should you wait on Adventure. So why not get by Wheels RV, the number one fifth wheel and RV dealer in Arkansas, no matter the size of your family or your budget. Wheels RV has a new travel trailer or fifth wheel to help you explore the great outdoors. And with their exclusive lifetime warranty on every new RV, you can hit the open road with peace of mind. Come see why at Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, and discover with Wheels RV.
So a report from TMZ has come out. Did you catch any of the Bill Belichick interview?
Yeah, I did not catch it on CBS. What was it? CBS Sunday Morning News. But I heard Ruskin and Zach going through this in great detail yesterday.
This phrase, we're not talking about this.
There was a question. You have the question.
Don't have the question, but the question.
You don't know what. You don't know why she's not talking about this.
It was at the start of their relationship.
That was how
the
they met. So
how they met.
Correct. So you got to put it in context. But the sense is that
What's the sense?
That she has full control of what's going on with Bill Belichick. I don't know that that's accurate, and it's certainly not a good look if you're a North Carolina fan. You don't probably enjoy the way this frames your head coach, but certainly seems like a guy that seems to be in charge and in control of everything has little to no control over what's going on in that relationship. But I think we're boxing it in on these, these clips and these handful of segments.
Colton, turn it up a little bit because the volume's kind of low. But what is a question you ask your significant other and Colton, your significant other, where she says, we're not talking about this?
Where are we going to dinner?
We're
not talking about that. You decide, And
then she gets mad when you don't select the place.
Hey, what'd you do today? We're not talking about this. Hey, what's in that cardboard box out by the 5 cardboard boxes out by the door?
Did you move those things I asked you to move?
Yeah. So, what did FedEx bring for the second time today?
Your wife has an excuse because your baby boy is...
He's not a baby anymore.
Yeah. Huh?
He's 15.
No.
I thought you were looking at me when you said that.
But I motioned towards Colton.
Well, you were looking at me.
She has a built-in excuse.
She has an excuse.
Yes, and she's used that to be quite ruthless, I will say.
It is entertaining. And
what are we having for dinner tonight? What are you making for dinner tonight?
It's called Uber Eats. That's what we're making for dinner.
I think the stuff in the dishwasher clean or dirty. I can go on and on.
That works for everything. Everything. In other headlines, I'm sure you've.
It's not Bill Belichick's best moment.
No, it's not. Other headlines. A Southwest Airlines flight from Philadelphia to Chicago had to meet in the Midway Airport. Evidently, this report saying a source with knowledge of the situation. The plane had to be taken out of service because a woman pooped on her seat. What would you do in that situation?
Well,
if the woman was sitting next to you, if you were in like A or B and she did it in C, what would you do?
Hopefully, it's not a full flight. Hopefully, there's some options.
Have you ever found yourself in that situation where you felt like that there was no other?
But I know some people that are on the weight loss shots, eat the wrong thing. That can happen.
It can happen. Okay.
We've seemingly had more reports of this kind of thing occurring here lately. Okay. Maybe it's because everything makes the news, but it's the worst feeling in the world.
Can't go full Shaq on Southwest though. That's rough. That's
that seems like a story that would happen on a different airline, not the official airline of the SEC.
Yeah. I did get an email from them this morning on the new changes coming and with seating and with baggage.
This is one of the best texts we've ever received. This one comes from Graham in Prairie Grove, the Piled High Club.
Yeah,
well done, Graham. Well done. That's I
would want to be seated in an exit row if she did do that. I might just pull the handle and go out the door.
I'm going to be honest. Do you listen to flight attendants?
Negative. I've been on enough flights lately. All the planes are pretty much the same.
I don't sit in the exit row.
I always sit in the exit row if I can.
Do you?
Oh, the leg room that comes with that? Absolutely.
But I don't want to be in a situation where something bad could happen and the entire plane's life is upon me.
Do
you want to be in that situation?
No.
Then that's why you don't see me in an exit row. Yeah. That's the
But if I'm not checking a bag, I don't want to be on the back row because I don't know what it is that when the plane pulls to the gate and they open the door that people now can't get up from their seat, grab their bag, and get the hell off the plane. Now all of a sudden it takes, I don't know what about boarding and deboarding a plane takes forever, but some people just can't get the process.
I almost want you to hold some of this anger and rage till tomorrow, till What's Your Beef Wednesday. Okay. Let it all loose then. Do that for me.
Hey, we've got the Run for the Roses coming up, and Oaklawn's getting you ready for the weekend. And hey, Oaklawn Anywhere season never ends. If you don't have the Oaklawn Anywhere app, be sure to download in the Apple app or Google Play Store. iPhones and iPad users can download the Oaklawn Anywhere app and use it on any of your devices. This weekend, a lot of racing coming up at Oaklawn. It's going to be the final weekend of racing coming up, 12:30 post time on Thursday, noon on Friday and Saturday. On Thursday, they got the Majestic Overnight Stakes. On Friday, the Lake Hamilton Stakes and the Bachelor Stakes. Saturday, the Arkansas Breeders' Championship, the Lake Washita Stakes, and the Trails End, which will close the final weekend of live racing at Oaklawn. But get the Oaklawn Anywhere app, get ready for the Kentucky Derby, and the final weekend of live racing at Oaklawn this weekend with the Oaklawn Anywhere app.
So, talked about this a little bit earlier. Baseball games canceled tonight in Springfield, Missouri. I guess if you had tickets to the game, you get a voucher and have a chance to go to one of the
I'll be sure to use that.
last four games of Missouri State.
Yeah, who are they playing? Yeah, I'm sure you got their schedule printed out over there. What are my options?
Colton, you might have to pull that up, who they could play down the stretch.
I believe I'll just pass.
You got lucky back in 2015 when they couldn't play that series in the Super Regional. They had to come to Baum Walker even as the home team, which was fun, and maybe got lucky heading into this game. Now, are we going to talk about saving your rage, like keeping it festering, like keeping it boiling for tomorrow for What's Your Beef Wednesday? We're going to see it.
I'm an angry man over here.
Well, I want it to be unleashed on What's Your Beef Wednesday. Are we going to see a little anger from this baseball team that's lost 3 straight against the number 1 team in college baseball against Texas?
So if they're angry, they're going to play better? Is that the secret to everything in life? Just get pissed off and you'll be better?
Not necessarily, I don't think.
I don't know that I want them playing mad. If you're mad, that indicates to me you're out of control. Out of control doesn't equal a good result. So, no, I don't want them angry this weekend. I want them focused. I want them healthy.
Locked in.
I want them rested. So I'm fine with not playing tonight. Let's not do a 2-hour bus ride up. We got to stop along the way for a potty break. We got to go over to Buc-ee's, and then we'll go to the stadium, and then we'll, no.
That's pro.
Let's just stay at the house. So I'm A-okay. They don't need this game. They're 5th in the RPI. I'm with Tom, and I've said this all week. You find a way to finish in the top 4, you're a top 8 national seed. You win 4 or 5 of your last 9, I believe you're in that position.
Mm-hmm.
Am I wrong? I don't think I'm having to do algebra here to figure this out. It's in calculus. It's pretty simple math.
You're saying they win 4 of the next 9, you feel like they're going to be a top 8?
4 or 5 of the next 9. I think they're going to be at the top 4 in the league. And I think if you're the top 4 of the SEC, you're going to be a top 8 national seed.
The number 5, I think, gets you 2 series wins. 4 just gets you 1. So
depends.
I mean, I think that
depends.
I don't think
I'm not looking at series wins. I'm looking at where do you finish. Do you get one of those buys in the SEC tournament? I think you're on solid footing if you are a top 4 team in this league.
I don't see a scenario where you lose 5 of your last 6 SEC series and wind up a national seed. But your numbers, you're showing the numbers, so maybe it's just the optics I have in my head.
Right now the RPI is wonky too. You got Auburn up there. You got some teams that, Georgia doesn't completely surprise me. Texas, of course, is number one. Vanderbilt's up there high. Arkansas's up there high. So, the RPI is not an indicator of the standings in part either right now. Hey, we're brought to you by Gaston's White River Resort, 870-431-5202. My favorite little hideaway or getaway. Be a good weekend to get to Gaston's, and maybe that road weekend, or maybe Mother's Day. Mother's Day's coming up. If you're looking for something different to do with Mom and treat her to a weekend getaway, take her to Gaston's White River Resort. I know a lot of moms that like to fish, that love the trout fishing because the guide makes it so much fun, and they can just fish, drink a few cold ones, get a cooler of good ideas. You can get a cooler of good ideas on the boat, and just enjoy the day. Get a little tan in, and right now Gaston's is located in one of the best trout fishing spots in all of North America, right below the dam at Bull Shoals on the White River. 870-431-5202. Ask about guided fishing trips when you call now at Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's, a first-class time every time.
I think it's your girlfriend called.
Text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group, home of the Lewis Guarantee.
Adventure doesn't wait, and neither should you. Start your next journey at Arkansas's #1 fifth wheel dealer, Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas. No matter the size of your family or your budget, Wheels RV has a new travel trailer or fifth wheel to help you explore the great outdoors. And with our exclusive lifetime warranty on every new RV, you can hit the open road with peace of mind. Come see us on 412 in Tawnytown or check us out at wheelsrv.net. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
This is the game that they are saying national championship. And we're floating in a sea of red.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
White perch, big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Taco Bell brought back crispy chicken nuggets, and I can't believe how good they are.
Why can't you believe it?
Because you're Taco Bell. Taco Bell.
Yeah, but a taco place can do nuggets, right?
Yeah, the Hidden Valley Fire Ranch is awesome.
Okay, they're good, but we're not a chicken place.
When did you guys become a chicken place?
Chicken? Can't a taco place do good nuggets? Are we not allowed to do both?
What do you mean?
You think it's cool to do both, right? Why are you looking at me like that?
Are they okay?
I don't think so.
We're totally a taco place that's a chicken place that's also a taco place.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and it's just getting started. Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need. Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless. Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
So let's take you back to the concrete streets. Original beats and real live MCs. Playground tactics, no rabbit in a hat tricks.
Introducing the Azalea
So let's take you back to the concrete streets. Original beats and real live MCs. Playground tactics, no rabbit in a hat tricks.
built for comfort.
So let's take you back to the concrete streets.
Check out our latest
Original
drop.
real live MCs.
Back.com.
Playground tactics. So let's take you back to the concrete streets. Original beats with real live MCs. Playground tactics. No rabbit and a hat tricks. Just that classic rap.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for all your sports betting action. Baseball season is in full swing, and we're into the home stretch for NBA. We're into the home stretch for NBA and NHL playoffs. BetOnline has more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news, and scores, even live in-game betting while the games are being played. With the largest selection of odds on everything from the MLB, NHL, and UFC, BetOnline remains the number one online source for all your sports wagering information. In between games, head over to BetOnline Casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Sandy White Perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie.
Thing you could.
He said they just started playing other good teams, and now they're
I'd
just
take one
average.
right now. I'm more worried about LSU and Tennessee. Those are the teams that you got to beat out in tiebreakers. Love to beat Texas, help you a bunch, but all the wins add up in the 30-game race anyway at the end of the year. Brought to you by APAC and Standard Materials Group. Whether you're working on a small residential project or a large-scale commercial job, APAC and Standard Materials Group is the number one source for top-quality aggregates. That includes rock and gravel, sand, those type of things, asphalt, and ready-mix concrete brought to your site. Their construction consultant services ensure you're always on the right track. You can call them at 479-587-3300 for all your rock, asphalt, and ready-mix needs. That's APAC and Standard Materials Group, 479-587-3300.
All right, so we've got a fun one here on a CJ's Trivia Tuesday. So today was International Dance Day, Tom. All right, y'all. 877-377-6963.
Sit here in the chair and rock back and forth.
What's this song called? Just easy. This may or may not have played at the wedding I was at this weekend. Get a call in, and you win a $25 gift card to CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers. You want to take advantage of that. All you got to do is answer, what is the name to this song? Performed by the Swedish group ABBA in their fourth studio album, Arrival, back in 1976. Colton, who we got on the line? Darren is in Springdale this morning. Darren, what is the answer to our CJ's Trivia Tuesday question?
Dancing Queen?
Dancing Queen. Yes, sir, you're right. Stay on the line. Colton will get your information off air. We do it every single Tuesday. We give you a chance to win a $25 gift card at CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers. Best fries, best shakes, best cheap eats each and every year in both Russellville and Fayetteville. Stop by and see Keith and his team in Fayetteville and Keith Sally and his team at Russellville. CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers. When all you do are burgers, they have to be the best.
That's my ringtone for you. So that was an easy one today.
Dancing Queen.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
How do I get that changed? How do I get that chance where that's not the case?
Well, I don't know.
Do I have to earn it?
Act better.
Act
you know?
better. Well, there's no guarantee of that.
Hey, it's the
whatsoever.
47th anniversary sale going on at Burton Pools and Spas now through the end of this month. So you got day and tomorrow. Get to Burton Pools and Spas, save up to $1,250 off above ground pools, $2,300 off semi-in-ground pools. See them online at burtonpools.com.
Phil Elson, Matt Jones, halftime coming up next.
Adventure doesn't wait, and neither should you. Start your next journey at Arkansas's #1 fifth wheel dealer, Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas. No matter the size of your family or your budget, Wheels RV has a new travel